welcome to my little corner. I believe everyone is watching Netflix, and Netflix has been doing a lot of original shows and original movies. So in this video, I want to review 3 original Netflix movies. They all came out recently, and they are Death Note, What Happened to Monday, and Naked. So let's get started with Death Note. So right off the bat, I want to tell you that I never watched the anime, I have never watched the Japanese movies, so all I knew about the story before I watched this movie was pretty much just the general concept. Basically, this movie is about a high school student named Light Turner, and one day a mysterious book falls from the sky and is called Death Note. In this book, he can write the name of someone he wants dead, and he can also specify how he wants them to die. Along with this book, there's this creature called Ryuk. I'm sorry if I slaughtered the name. And this is actually the death god. At some point, he and a girl named Mia, they decide to start killing all these criminals, and they think they're like playing God or think they're doing justice, but the law thinks that they're actually the bad guys, so everyone is just looking for Light and Mia, for whoever's behind this whole killing spree. So basically this is what the movie is all about. As someone who had no idea about the original story, I actually enjoyed the movie, even though there were a lot of things that were very weird and awkward. So when Ryuk showed up to Light the first time, it was such an unnecessary scene where Light just completely freaked out, and there was this huge mess. Light was scared to death, and I feel like, was that really necessary? But then again, if I was in Light's place, I feel like maybe I would have freaked out big time as well. And seriously, was I the only one when I saw that scene? I was thinking, what if someone, because the teacher went out of the classroom, what if the teacher came back at this moment and saw everything that's going on? And even after that whole scene, what happened when the teacher or anyone went into that classroom and saw that huge mess? Like, what the hell just happened here? Like, was I the only one thinking that? But the most awkward scene in this movie was when Light told Mia about the book. Basically, Light was in the benchers just reading the book. So Mia just comes randomly and asks, oh, what's that book? Can I see it? He denied access to the book, and she moved on because she was clearly not that interested. It was probably just to start a conversation. And then Light just out of nowhere, like, wait, do you really want to know? Wow, that was so awkward. Another thing that I thought was really weird was that Light was acting extremely suspicious, and he was so, you know when you're guilty of something and then you're like on the edge all the time, like you're scared of someone finding out? And he was constantly like that for most of the movie, and he was extremely suspicious, like he's supposed to be keeping something a secret, but he was totally obvious. And I had no idea how his dad did not figure anything out. And I only said bad things about the movie so far. If you can get over some awkwardness and some things that don't feel quite right, you can kind of enjoy the movie. The movie is not bad at all. Like, maybe if you watch the original once, maybe the movie is really bad, I don't know. But if you never watched any of the story just like me, then you might enjoy the movie. And I gotta say that I really love the ending part of the movie with the Ferris wheel and everything that went down. So basically what I want to say is that this movie has a lot of things that don't feel quite right here and there, but overall it was a nice, enjoyable movie. You know, if you have nothing to do, you're at home, you got Netflix, and you don't know what to watch, you can give Death Note a try. So I'm gonna give a final score to all of these movies, and for Death Note, I'm gonna give it a 6 out of 10. And now I'm gonna talk about What Happened to Monday. So this movie is based in the near future. It's 2043, I believe, in this movie, and there's overpopulation. So what they decided to do is that families are only allowed one child. So if you have more children, then only the eldest is allowed to live. And then the rest of the siblings, they are put into a sleep. But one woman somehow gives birth to 7 children. Unfortunately, the mother dies, and then the children are in the care of their grandfather, and the grandfather, in order to protect them, he names them Monday through Sunday. And they all have to live as one person with one identity, even though they're all very different from each other. And they can only go out in the given day of their name. But one day, Monday goes to work at the bank, but she does not come back. And the sisters start getting confused and panic because they don't know what's going on. But they decide to keep going with their routine, and then the very next day, Tuesday, goes out to work as they normally do. But then the sisters start disappearing, and then they start dying, and here's where the movie starts getting super confusing, and you really have to pay attention and focus. So basically, there's a lot of action in this movie. There's a lot going on, and you have to focus. It is an interesting movie. It is an interesting concept. At least I've never heard or saw anything like this before. I've never heard of a story any similar to this. So I was kind of impressed with the concept of the movie because I think it is very original, but it is very confusing. Another thing that didn't feel quite right is that all these different sisters, we didn't really get to know them too much. They all have different personalities, but we don't really go into much depth inside the personalities, so we don't really get to know much of them. But I think the actress that did this movie, she is amazing, because basically she was the whole movie. You know, she played 7 different people, and most of the time those 7 people were together in the same room. So this is really an interesting movie, and I think you should give it a try, but be aware that you have to focus because it might get really confusing. But if you want to watch something that's original and that's completely new, and you should really give this a try. I'm gonna give this movie a score of 6.5 out of 10. And finally, I'm gonna talk about the movie Naked. This is a comedy, and I love this movie. I'm just gonna say right off the bat that I love this movie. This was definitely the best movie out of the 3. This movie is about a guy named Rob, and he gets caught in a time loop. Yes, here we go, another time loop movie. Maybe you're over there already thinking, oh no, not another one. We already had enough of those movies. But honestly, I love time loop movies. I think they're so funny, and even though it feels like it's the same concept being done over and over again, I'm still gonna enjoy all of them. I like watching the movie and along with the character trying to figure out what the hell they have to do to get out of the time loop. Basically, this guy is gonna get married, and the night before his wedding, he gets drunk, and then he wakes up naked in an elevator, and he has no memory of what happened. And at that time, he has to get to his wedding on time, and until he figures out what he has to do, the time loop is gonna repeat itself, and once again he's gonna wake up again naked in an elevator again and again and again until he figures out what the hell he has to do. This movie is really funny, it's really entertaining. I love this movie. It's probably one of the best movies of this year, believe it or not, in my opinion. I really enjoyed it. I love the main actor in this movie. I think he's really funny. And if you're looking for a comedy / romantic comedy maybe, this is a perfect movie for you. And I will give this movie a score of 9 out of 10. So this is a very high score because I honestly like the movie. Have you watched all of these 3 movies? And if you did, which one was your favorite? And if you like this video, please give it a like and make sure to subscribe because I will see you next time. Bye bye.